Hey guys, I really just wanted to like kind of have like an update and like share with you guys just about the past year and some things that have been going on and updates for the next couple of months. Yeah. So about a year ago actually, December, like the beginning of December, the Lord had freed me from a long period of time, like over a year of just kind of like shame and condemnation and like pressure and me trying to do all these things for my flesh. Me like condemning myself because I wasn't where I thought I should be, and every single time that I didn't feel like I was like doing something worthy of the Lord and like glorifying Him in the way that I thought my life should glorify Him, I would resort to thinking that I needed a fast. There's still a lot of shame and like a lot of things that I'm working through when it comes to that. I guess like the fasting thing and like sharing and opening up about that, because I think we can just kind of move on and be like, oh, it was an eating disorder, move on and think it was just mental. But there was just a lot of pain and a lot of like a lot of lies spoken to me, like, and not by other people, but just like in my mind. Like I was so captive and I was so dehumanized and like felt like I couldn't eat and all of these things. And I know this is really heavy, so even like posting this is kind of like I'm not even going into like half of what all of that was about, and I think I'm probably gonna need to share a little bit more another time, so please stick around for that. It's just I just want to be vulnerable with you guys on all of that, but I also want to be sensitive to how much I feel like I could share. So yeah, so it was just a lot of striving and a lot of condemnation and a lot of words and thoughts and beliefs that I had about myself and the way that God saw me, and I never added up. It just never seemed to add up to what I thought that God wanted from me. Yeah. And about a year ago, it was last Thanksgiving, I still felt like I couldn't eat, and that was like a months long thing, especially over the like, I would say probably about 4 or 5 months before I completely had the Lord open my eyes to see what it was. I felt like I had to complete like a long fast. Yeah, I felt like I needed to complete a long fast, but every single time that I would try, I would find that it would just be like I couldn't do it. Of course I couldn't do it because I was hungry, and I was in my last semester of college, so I would be on campus, and it's hard to talk about, to be honest, but I was in my last semester of college, and there was just a lot of like feeling like I couldn't eat, and then I would cry out to the Lord and like, give me strength, just give me strength to like complete this fast. And I just remember like sitting with the Lord and like on campus, and I was just like completely unashamed of like surrendering to Him. But it's like even in that midst of things, like I would be praying and God would like show me a person, and it was like so cool to see that God was so involved. Like even when I was so deceived. God was so involved. I remember a specific day. I was praying that morning, and I saw this girl that I had met on campus, I think like the year prior, and I saw her, and I was like, that's crazy, like, why am I seeing this girl? And I go to class, and I'm on campus waiting around for my next class, and I'm hungry, like, just sitting around trying to like distract myself, and this girl walks past me, and I see her. I just remember literally thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, God, like, there's no way, like, you literally like showed me her this morning. We didn't cross paths very often. Like, I never saw her on campus, not that often. And so I knew it was God, and it just made me like feel so good. But I remember like he had given me a dream about her too, and so it's like it was really cool. But like even like when ministering to her, I would always feel like in order to minister, I would have to do something. Like, she invited me to go eat, and I couldn't eat because I was trying to complete a fast. And so I thought that in the dream, because it showed me not feeling like I could eat. I thought it was God telling me like, you can't eat, like, be warned, you're gonna feel this way or whatever. And it wasn't that. It was just like I could have just eaten with a girl, and like I could have just been myself, and like the Lord would have moved through that. Another time, it was closer to about Thanksgiving. Actually, it was the day after Thanksgiving, and I had eaten, and I had like gotten really sick because I had gotten to the point of like starvation. I was way past that point. I know a lot of you guys like knew me during that time, so y'all knew what I had been going through, or I guess maybe you didn't know what I was going through, but you saw it. It was really, you could not see it. I can admit, like, I looked like what you can imagine a starving person would look like. But the day after Thanksgiving, I felt led to go to my step-grandmother's house, and I ended up going, and this girl, I was trying to figure out, I was this girl. I was trying to figure out how to tell her that I couldn't eat. But I remember that day I was preparing for graduation, but at that point, me and my mom and people who were really trying to help me had gotten, we had gotten into conversations where it was like, I had at that point saw myself and didn't really think that I was gonna make it. And I thought it was all my fault because I had failed so many times. I thought I was gonna die and that I wasn't gonna be able to make it to graduation. Like, I wasn't gonna be able to walk. God sent me so many like warnings and like people to tell me like, hey, like, you can rest. But I didn't really believe that I could. Like, I just didn't. Believed I had to finish it. But I remember that day being extremely difficult. I remember picking out a dress, and I was trying to like find something to wear to graduation. And I put on this dress, and the back of my I could see my back, and I could see like my spine, and I literally in that moment felt like I had to decide between like God and like this fast and His Holy Spirit resting in me, and and like me being obedient. I had to decide between that and just completely rejecting him and eating. And I just remember that day I was like, God, I don't really like, I hate, like, I literally looked at like these like CDs, and it sounds crazy, but I would look at these CDs and things. We were in Target, and as we're passing all these like really demonic like CDs and stuff, like it was like, you know, like horror movie stuff, kind of like that. I literally was looking at it and I was like, I've seen what God can do. I've seen the good things that he's done. I've seen all these things, but I'm at the point where I have to choose. Like, I really want to eat. And so I remember that day I was like, let's go eat or whatever, and I did it in spite, because I thought that God was like against me like eating. Like, I low-key am a little afraid of like what this video may bring about, and like people thinking I was like dumb for this season. It is crazy what the enemy can do to our minds to make something that's not truth to the point of us suffering. Yeah, it's like, it's so true. Like what God says can break through those things, and I'm very, very thankful that he did. But those times were like, it felt like the most real thing to me. Like, everything that I was thinking, like, it was like so deep rooted, and it was, yeah, like I literally thought that at that point, that day, I was turning away from the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit would no longer be in me. I remember the days following that, and me literally just going crazy, and I had to complete the rest of my assignments, and I just couldn't. And I think it was 'cause like my brain and my body physically, I couldn't like think, and I was starting to get where I was like, I hadn't eaten for like 3 or 4 months, and yeah, anyways, I don't want to glorify that, honestly. I just want to say, like, I literally just thought that God had left me, and I would say that. I would tell my parents. I'm like, you don't understand that God's not God's not here, like the Holy Spirit's left me. And it was like the enemy was just using fear over my head. It was like everything that I did, everything I said, it was wrong. And I had so many moments where I can look back and see that God was like speaking to me, and he like spurred me on, and he would say things like, if only you saw yourself the way that I saw you. Like, I remember literally having a song. I've never had songs go through my head before, but during this time I did. And it was like, I would hear that, but then I wouldn't understand, like, or be able to equate both of them as like, this is truth, and it wasn't to spur me on in fasting. Like, I was putting the 2 and 2 and lining them up. So like, when God would say something like, I only want you, like, I just wish that you would find yourself in what I did for you. Like, I heard him say that so clearly when I was telling him. I was like, I just need it. Like, I just want to eat. I just, like, can you let this be over? And that's all he said. Like, I heard it so clearly in my spirit. But I always equated it with what I had to do. So it was like, in order to fast, I would need his encouragement. So the only reason why he was giving me encouragement is so that I would continue to fast. And so every single time that he would say things like that, and he said things all the time. Like, I was in history, like all these times where he was like, I'm not like those gods. I'm not like them, where you're like, the people were so scared to they had to sacrifice out of fear so that the gods didn't like take their anger out on the people. And he was like, that's not me. That's not who I am. But I just really struggled with that truth. Like like I said, every time that I would receive like something, it would always be like in my head to confirm like what I thought that so surely that God was asking me to do the fast. It'd be like to confirm that and like to lift me up so that I can complete it. Yeah, and like, yeah, I just want to glorify God in that. Like, he spoke to me so clearly. There wasn't a time that he didn't. I mean, in so many crazy ways. Like, there was this time where I was literally hiding eating in my room. I was eating crackers, but I felt so guilty because I had told my parents I was gonna do this fast, and I guess I was trying to prove something. I felt so ashamed that I was hungry and I was eating. And I go to the Little Caesars and I see this little, like, because I was like, I gotta eat. But then it's like I didn't want my parents to know that I was eating because I was ashamed because I was breaking the fast once again. And I saw on the license plate in front of me, it said hope in me. And I just felt like this overwhelming, like, will you just hope in me? Like, will you just hope in me? In Jesus, will you hope in what I did for you? Like, will you hope in me? And it was like precious because I can look back and see all of these moments where God was speaking to me and like how it was truth and it was to pull me out of things that weren't truth. But at that point I didn't see it. But 2 weeks before graduation, my mom had really prayed for me, and my mom had been praying for a long time, and so were a lot of you guys. Honestly, like, a lot of you guys were fighting for my life, and I thank you for that. I thank you so much for that. Your prayers were not wasted. Like, you guys were the reason why, like, my eyes were part of the reason why my eyes were open. Prayer really is efficient. It says that the prayers of the righteous are sufficient. Like, they really are important. It's important to keep praying for the people that don't seem like they're ever going to change, or their minds are ever going to change, and they're just so deceived. It's not, like, just don't give up, because I'm a result of prayer and consistent and persistent prayer. The Lord had brought a family friend slash just family, Christy and other people to come, and they, at that point, so many people had tried to reach out to me, but honestly I didn't trust authority. I kind of had felt abandoned by them before. It's like, why would you wait until, I don't know. And there's a lot of healing, and I have healed a lot in that area, but like, I just felt really abandoned. Like, why would you wait until now when I'm trying to do something that's like this scary? Why would you wait until now to speak with me and do all these things? It was like, I don't know. But anyways, I had Christy come over, and she like spoke over me and sung over me, or she put a song over me, and it was just really cool because over the next couple of days, and it wasn't her, it was a part of her, and I'm so thankful for her, but I knew, like, God knew that I needed like someone to trust, and he never gave up on me. Like, all these people he used, I'm so thankful for each and every one of them, whether I rejected them then or not. And I just want to make that clear. But 2 weeks before graduation, I was in a car, and I felt like someone had invited me. Someone had invited me to the Christmas market, and I remember having a conversation with one of my friends before, and a lot of the things I had written down were very condemnation based. So this is something that I I kind of realized during that conversation, it was like my eyes were open to the fact that a lot of the things I was reading and a lot of the things that I thought God was saying was very condemning. And so I went to the Christmas market that night, and I listened to this little podcast thing, but I literally was like, I'm gonna act like tonight that God doesn't hate me. God isn't mad at me, and I'm gonna drink a hot chocolate. And I just remember that night, God just like, I went to church that night, and I was like, if the Holy Spirit is even here, because I thought he had left me, that the Lord like would speak at church. And so he sure did. And like he was just, it was like him speaking over me that the blood healed me. And I'm like that itself like was spoken. They were taking communion, and I just had my eyes, like it was just like washing over me, like this peace that I like didn't have to do anything. Like he healed me, like he healed me. And so my eyes were open that night, and I told my parents the next morning, was like, my eyes are open, and I'm like literally in the car, it was like, I have an eating disorder, like thank God I have an eating disorder. And so from that point on, the Lord would just like, the Lord had been speaking restoration, that would be a season of restoration. And so the next couple of months was just a lot of healing for my body. I started going to therapy. And yeah, like I started going to therapy. The Lord really started to help me rest in him. And honestly, that is still something that he's still like teaching me, is like rest in him. Yeah. That in like February, I felt like the Lord was, because I had prayed for direction, the Lord led me to go to YWAM, which is a Youth with a Mission, and it was a discipleship program. In this discipleship program, I don't know, I was so scared to like do something like that, because that's scary. Like you don't have the money, and like, you know, you should be, I don't know, all these standards of what you should be doing. But I ended up going, and guys, it was literally like what I needed. Like I just remember God like really healing like my seeking heart. It's like I really just wanted God. It was like all the things that I was doing, it was like, it wasn't shameful to him. He didn't frown on my pursuit of him. And I was like, it was based off, like a lot of my actions were based off of like the lies that the enemy was feeding me, or that I had believed. But he wasn't ashamed of that. Like he loved me. And so during those times, like we had classes like every day, and I had a really rough time at some points, because I still had a lot of like feeling like I can't like hang out with people, or I shouldn't, or like I should spend this amount of time with God, like all these things. And like I feel like that's just like, yeah, anyways. But the Lord really like met me and sent people, and like they prayed over me, and like I heard words spoken over me, and he was just so kind to me. I remember we had classes on like the Father heart of God, and like he taught me like that he's compassionate. Like he'll never not be compassionate towards you. And it's like, even if the circumstance doesn't change, even if the circumstance doesn't change right away, like he is always compassionate towards your situation. And he taught me that. It was like, even if something doesn't change immediately, I can never like believe or like say that he's not compassionate. that's one thing that he'll always be towards me, and I can always share my feelings. But I never thought that I could, and I had like leaders that would walk with me and like just kind of help me with that. Like they would just walk with me, and they'd just be intentional with me, and they would build friendship with me. And the Lord, towards the end of my lecture phase, the end of this 3 months, God had really opened my eyes to see a lot of things that I didn't really believe about the gospel, and like about the fact that he loved me and I don't have to do anything for him to like love me, and a lot of other things that are just essential to believe the gospel. That's just based off of what he did, not what I have to do, and that he loved me. It was really the biggest thing. Yeah, like I went through counseling, I went through restoring the foundations. I had a lot of people just sit and like pour into me, and it was what I needed. Yeah, it was just what I needed. He like stretched me beyond like my capacity. He would really show up the most when I would let go and do things with people. Like he taught me rest with people. It was like a lot of times I would be like, well, would you really want me, God, to like go and do this because I should be doing this or whatever? And it's like he would meet me and going and doing things with people. He had me meet a lot of people that didn't even speak my language, but yet we became really close. He gave me real friendship. It was just beautiful. But one thing that he really, like, in the last couple of weeks of that 3 months, he really taught me like to process my feelings, and it was something that even like my one-on-one would tell me. It's like, you need to process your feelings. And it's crazy because like processing my feelings with God, I didn't really think that he cared about my feelings like at all. Like you just do it because whether you feel like it or not, like you just obey. But like he had me like process a lot of my emotions and why I was feeling the way that I was, instead of just automatically getting upset at myself because I'm feeling the way I shouldn't feel. But during my outreach, I went to Zimbabwe, which is really cool. Another little thing, about 3 years, like that was just a fulfilled promise that God had given me a long time before, and I didn't realize that he would do that, like that he would bring me to Zimbabwe. But during the 3 months in Zimbabwe, I was within a team, and our team operated like a family. We didn't always get along. It was like we had to like work through trials and things with each other, and like it wasn't always easy, but he just kind of taught me like a lot through them, like having to like I need to let go, and like just how to do a conflict, how to share my feelings, how to actually be vulnerable with my feelings, even if the other person would reject. Like I just had to I really had to just experience God for myself. And towards the, like, I literally started, reading Psalms because the Lord had led me through, even just like a woman telling me about how she felt like she needed to tell me that she spent a season in Psalms, because in order to have compassion towards other people, we have to understand the compassion that God has for us. In some regard, not to that not those exact words, but I ended up reading Psalms, and that was all I read. Just meditating on Psalms, and yeah, he just like healed a lot in the regard to like relationship with him and like what that looked like. And I know this video is getting really, really long. I'll have to figure out a way to split it, but I've been home and I felt like I needed to come home. I needed to come home and be with my family, and God's really shown up, and like I've been working and subbing and doing all these things that I really felt like I couldn't do, like all these boundaries and stuff, but God's just like shown me like his presence in these things, and it's beautiful and I love it. And I love how he's like transformed my family and like transformed me and my view of my family and our relationships, and I'm really thankful. And I know he's not done with that yet, and with me yet, and my family yet, and he's just not done. But this is something that I wanted to kind of share with you guys, because I don't feel like I really was open just about what I was going through, what I had gone through. I mean, there's really scary things to kind of let people in on, and there's so much more. But this is just kind of like me stepping out in faith to actually share these things with you guys. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to share with you guys, I'll probably make a few more videos, so stay updated, because there's some things that like that was kind of like my past and my present, but there's some things that are coming up in the next couple of months that I'm gonna start fundraising for and doing. And this is just kind of like a background, like why I'm doing the thing, like why, a little bit of the backstory of why God would call me to do the things that he's calling me to do next. But yeah, I wanted just to share, so please feel free to reach out to ask questions. Yeah, I love you guys, and I hope that y'all have an amazing day and the rest of the week. And yeah, I love you guys.